The end is near for Kotaku. I'm not breaking any news. This is something we've been talking about for several months here on this channel after we saw the behavior of a few people at Kotaku, but also just watching how Kotaku has been for the last several years and how it's clear that they absolutely hate gaming and they hate their audience, and they have shown that point blank, end of discussion. And now we have the reports that Kotaku Australia has shut down. Now, this is just Kotaku Australia. Just want to make that clear. A lot of people were excited when they heard this and thinking it was going to have some real impact on the main Kotaku. While that's not necessarily the case, I do believe that the end is very near for Kotaku, and it's much like G4. We saw how that whole situation played out with G4. That didn't take very long at all. And Alyssa Mercante is actually worse than Frosk, even though Frosk was... I had more fun roasting and memeing on Frosk than Alyssa Mercante. And I don't really know why. But Alyssa Mercante is just she's a terrible person. And she's worse off. She's worse than Frosk, which is a pretty big... That's a pretty big hill to climb, and she's more than climbed it and then some. And she's made a fool of herself since this announcement. But yes, Kotaku Australia has shut down. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know a lot about Kotaku Australia. I obviously don't like when anyone in principle loses their job. But you have to understand that the brand in which you are working for has been completely destroyed. I don't know specifically how Kotaku Australia has been operating, but Kotaku in general is a broken brand that no one, generally speaking, trusts anymore. And they've done it to themselves, because when they were going through some really big potential changes and they wanted all of their staff to start doing game guides, the staff revolted against that, and no, they're just going to keep pushing their social justice propaganda. So at that point in time, the leadership has been compromised, and the people that are making the decisions absolutely just have no control, and they're scared to death of the freaks that they have hired, so they kind of get what they deserve from that perspective. And then Alyssa Mercante kind of loses it right here. You have no idea what journalism is. Your websites look like they're from 2001. They're riddled with typos. You use yourselves as a source for stories. You have an internet connection and a webcam. You think you have something worthy to say. You don't. We could set up my Nana with a Razer Keo in her care home and she'd make more coherent shit. It's a shame that private equity and Google have gutted legacy media sites, and the stupidest, cruelest people in the world are rushing to fill in the gaps. That screenshot was taken by Kirsha. Kirsha says, a very sane response about the Kotaku Australian branch being shut down. I am more of a journalist than Alyssa ever was or will be, and I'm not one. Hopefully the rest of Kotaku shutters soon rather than later. I agree completely. You have Grums here saying, I told you that the embittered Kotaku reports would start attacking YouTubers and more socially agile news outlets. Alyssa leading the charge. And she's 100% doing this. Kotaku Australia is shutting down and will no longer be published in Australia, with the majority of their staff let go. Also, cuts hit Vice, Refinery 29, Gizmodo, and Lifehacker. The end is near for Kotaku. It will not last much longer. I don't know if that means 3 months, 6 months, a year. I have no idea, but they are on borrowed time right now because they're a brand that literally no one trusts. No one cares about Kotaku. No one actually is going to be walking around with a Kotaku shirt on because no one likes them. They have no true fans, and they have no true readership whatsoever. And Kotaku's been around forever. I used to check out Kotaku from time to time, just back in the day when I would check out IGN and Polygon. But all of these legacy mainstream sites have lost everyone now. No one actually trusts them anymore. And YouTubers and independent sites have taken over. And that's exactly how it should be, and that's why they're all so bitter, because people like Alyssa Mercante don't actually have any skills whatsoever. So she can't actually just turn on a camera and talk about things like this. Like, there's no script, there's no edits, there's no jump cuts here or there. There's just me talking, and someone like Alyssa Mercante can't do that. She also can't make edited content either. She doesn't know how to do any of this, and that's why she's so mad. She needs that structure from the corporation to give her the protection and the shielding she needs, and that's all collapsing around her while she's actively attacked the very audience in which they should be going after. So the end is near for Kotaku. They're on borrowed time. It's just like G4 all over again. And we're going to have to see how this all plays out. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.